Hello, it's Constance here. Today, not as your lactation consultant presenting for Parenting Genie, but again for your baby wearing needs or education. So you can see I've already got the Christmas tree up here. My son did that for me. I don't know if you'd celebrate Christmas or the season, but if you do, I hope you have a beautiful time at the moment, wherever you are. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and I've already got my little demo doll in my wrap, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about it, because if you have a baby up to 6 months, the wrap made from stretchy fabrics like this is bamboo can be so handy, absolutely snug to your body, and you've got good shoulder support. You've got, as you can see, the pedals across my back. And I'm going to take the baby out now, and then I'll start again to give you a little bit more of an idea what this means to do. So I am going to take this a little bit away, and then this is the middle part or the chest part. So I bring that down again, and I bring one leg through and the other leg through. And then what I have here is the top part of the eggs. So I take that down, and I can also take my baby's leg out there. Okay. And then I always hold on to my baby, of course, and I take the other part away. And then I don't even have to use the leg to lift it up. I can just put my baby to one side of my body like that and take that leg out here. Wrong hand. So, yep. So that's that. And then I have my baby out of the carrier. So yeah, so these demo dolls, they actually weigh as much as a baby. So they weigh about 3.5 kilos. And yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put the baby down for a minute. And I show you what I'm going to do. So, got a little knot here. This is a shorter wrap than I had once before. There's different brands. This is called Leather Baby Co. If you are interested in brands. And it's quite firm, but it is stretchy. So you can see it's quite long, but it's not as long as I had it before with a different one. And it doesn't come with a pocket as such, so you can put it in a little bag if you want to. If you have a newborn baby, I would also suggest that you have this baby wrap on you at all times, at home or even in the car when you go out with your baby, because then it's on and you can take your baby out when you need to for feeding or for nappy changes, but then you can put the baby back in again, and it's handy. You don't have to worry about how do you do it each time. Okay, so starting from scratch. Now, as you may remember from a time when you may have watched one of my other videos, there's always a middle bit, and it usually comes with a label or just a little marking to know that this is the middle. Now the middle goes pretty much across your chest, like that way, and then you cross over. So one of these parts go across here, and then you have the other part, and that goes across here. Okay. So now I'm going to make this quite snug. really quite tight, because remember, this is stretchy fabric, so it will give. And then I gather it up in the center and I bring it through here, the middle. So I do want it not to crunch up too much, so I do make it quite straight again. And then I even tighten it up a little bit more. So remember, this, what I'm crossing over here, that X, that's going to be the seat for your baby. So I'm crossing over here. I don't want it down here. I don't want this X down here, because I don't want the baby to sit down there. I want the baby to sit quite high up. Okay, so cross over and cross over again, and then I tie this up either on the side or I can tie it up in the middle, so making a knot. Okay, so, and then this middle part, I can bring this down a little bit, and this is now the baby's seat, if you like. Okay, so now I'm going to get my baby again. Okay, so what you mothers or daddies could do, if you haven't had the baby yet, you could use a teddy bear to try and practice a little bit with it. So I've got my baby here facing me. So this is not something you can do with outside facing, because also, you know, the baby has got no head control at this time, and it's not something you can use for that. So babies really need to be tucked in nicely. So remember, I had the part of the wrap that is closest to my chest. That's where the first leg goes in. And then I have the other part, and that's where the other leg goes in. And the arms can go under here. Okay, so the next part is that I am going to remember which was the bottom, the closest to my chest, and that was this one. So I bring this part over the baby, and then I do the same thing again with the other part. Okay, so far so good. And now I still got this middle part, and that's really to give the baby more back support. So I put one leg through, and then I put the other leg through, and remember the middle part, and so I bring this up now. Okay, right, and this is almost already perfect. I may bring the hips in a little bit more, because we want the knees to be bottom level, or just even above the bottom. So this is called the M shape. So yeah, so that's important. So we don't want the baby to hang in there like that. We really want the legs nicely up there. Okay, and the other thing that I want to make sure, and you can see it, is that I don't have any fabric in front of the baby. So I may have to bring this over my shoulder a little bit to make sure that the baby doesn't have any fabric around there. So that feels really quite comfortable as well. And with the other side, I could actually bring that over the baby, as long as I don't cover anything that makes them not being able to breathe. Right, so now there is the particular abbreviation for safe baby carrying, and it's called the TICS chart. So TICS, T-I-C-K-S. T says it stands for close. In fact, I better look it up again, because I always kind of tight. It says tight. So T stands for tight. So the baby is really tight in there. in, and sometimes they have the hands around here, and sometimes they might actually bring one hand up as well, and that's perfectly fine as well. So T for tight, and then we have I. So the I stands for in view at all times, so I can actually view my baby all the time. So that's important. The C stands for close. C for close enough to kiss. I can kiss my baby, so that's important. So my face should be able to touch my baby's head. And then the K stands for keep off the chest. And what does that mean? It means that the baby is not having its chin falling onto the chest, because that would be like that and the baby would not be able to breathe very well. So that's really important as well. And then our last acronym is S, and S means for supported back. So that's important because the back is supported. Now, the most parents and also educators would suggest that stretchy wrap is convenient and easy to use for both parties, for the parents as well as the baby, for the first maybe 6 months, maybe a little bit more, depending on the weight. It could be that by 6 or 7 kilos, it is starting to get too heavy for you. And also because it is stretchy, the baby sometimes really sort of moves outwards into the fabric, and it may strain your back a little bit. So you may want to go then into a structured carrier that we've already discussed, and I will show you more in months to come. Or a woven wrap can be very useful for that as well. Yeah, so that is pretty much what I want to say to you today. If there is any questions on baby wearing, you're more than welcome to go on to parentinggenie.com.au. You find information there. You can also re-watch some of the videos, and you could even make an appointment with a healthcare professional who works for Parenting Genie. So there are all your options. Now let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to say to you that I may have not said to you. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that the World Health Organization has actually started recommending, and they've started that not just now, they started that some years ago, frequent use of slings as part of kangaroo care. And you may know what kangaroo care is. It means that your baby is skin to skin, and we're talking about premature babies, but that is equally as important for term babies, especially if there has been some separation in the hospital maybe, or in other instances. So, and for almost every small baby, and they consider a small baby 2 kilos, and yeah, from that point of view. So what else can I tell you about? It's probably it. Yeah, so it can be washed easily. I always suggest put it in a washing bag, but you can wash it on a gentle cycle with the gentle detergent, so not to have something that is maybe too smelly, because you really always want your baby to be able to smell natural odors like your skin and your breast milk and your natural body odors, rather than having something that is washed in very highly perfumed washing powders, or any kind of fabric softeners are not usually recommended for these kind of things either. So yeah, so that would be important to know. Okay, so for the end of the session, I'm going to do exactly what I did beforehand when I started. So I bring this down again, this middle part, take the feet out, bring this out, and then bring those two side panels. And you can see, you can actually see how the baby has that seat there, can you? Yeah, so I can, even without taking the baby's feet out, what I do is I lift the baby to one side of my shoulder and then take that out much easier. And then I bring baby to the other part of my shoulder and I take this part out. And then, yeah, I put baby either in the cot, or if the baby needs a nappy change, on the nappy change, or we sit down on the sofa and we start feeding if the baby needs to feed at that stage. There will be a time when I discuss baby wearing and breastfeeding at the same time, what you can use. That is not going to be happening today, though. So with that, I would also suggest that you may want to come in next week. Next week, I have another breastfeeding topic, and then I think we are going to have a few weeks of a Christmas break, and we'll see each other again next year with new topics. Okay, so thank you for watching, and my little baby is also saying bye-bye, and I'll see you in another week. Thank you so much for watching. It doesn't want to end. Does not want to end. Now it's ending. Bye-bye.